righteous man. Of my virtue I am justly proud. Santa Maria, you know I'm so much purer than the common, vulgar, weak, licentious crowd. Tell me, Maria, why I see her dancing there, why her smoldering eyes still scorch my soul. I see her, the sun caught in her raven hair is blazing in me out of all control. Like fire, hellfire, this fire in my skin. I put videos on the internet, so that means I'm going to get a lot of hate. Case in point. But outside of the hate-filled cesspool that is the YouTube comment section, I actually tend to get a lot of positive feedback from people that I actually know and love. But my last video, the 50 Shades one, man, I got a lot of people that I know like verbally confronting me and being like, hey, I really disagree with something you said in your video. And I mean, this was to be expected. It's a video about 50 Shades of Grey, which is a really controversial book, and then a much more controversial movie, and then I defended it. So, you know, I expected some feedback. I expected a conversation. That's kind of what the video was for. But I didn't get the kind of negative feedback that I was genuinely expecting. See, what I expected was something along the lines of, ugh, how could you defend that movie? Oh, it's just so bad, and you missed a few points here and there. And oh, social things, points, and stuff. Oh, okay. But what I mainly got was this. What do you mean the books don't matter? What? Out of an almost 10-minute video filled with opinions about a very controversial movie, you focus on the 1 3-second joke that I made? But apparently, the fact that I said the books don't matter means I am literally Hitler now. So, I'm making another video defending myself and my opinions. Yay! So, when I made the video and I said that the books don't matter, here's what I meant. When making films about books, the books don't matter. Too often I hear people complaining about, oh, the book was better, or the book did this differently, or the book did this. And like, I don't get it. I don't. If you were looking for the book, why wouldn't you read the book? And yes, I get it. The fact that they are making a movie based on a book implies that they would, you know, make the book. And I get that. I do. And I think it's really essential that you stick to certain plot points about that. For instance, the Harry Potter book series and the Harry Potter movie series are both about the same thing. They're both about Harry Potter's adventures and in a quest to defeat the Dark Lord. Like, that's a total thing, and I get that. And in that aspect, yes, I agree with you. I think if you're making a movie based off a book, you should stick to the same thematic elements that are present in the book. Like, that's a no-brainer. You should absolutely do that. Otherwise, you end up with Percy Jackson. You remember those? The amazing book series, the less than amazing movie series, I'm still salty about that. What really makes me mad is when people come around and say, the book did this differently. My sister is a huge player in this category because she is constantly complaining about the Hunger Games series and how pretty much all the characters looked differently in the books. First of all, that's nitpicking. Like, come on. Really, if you're focusing on that means you couldn't find anything else to criticize in the movie itself. Second, if you're trying to find a very accurate representation of the book on film, you're never going to find one. Because the same point that I made in my 50 Shades video about everyone having different ideas about what something is, applies directly to this. Because everyone read the book and interpreted the characters in a different way and imagined the scenery in a different way. So when it's portrayed on a film screen, it's going to look differently than what some people imagined. And no matter how you do that, that's how it's going to happen. And the people that I've talked to that got mad at me when I said that the books don't matter completely agreed with me in that aspect. But they also failed to realize something else. If it doesn't make a good movie, it gets cut or changed. Bottom line. Going back to the Harry Potter example, I remember when the 5th movie, The Order of the Phoenix, came out, everyone was really complaining about it because, while it was the longest book in the series, it was the shortest movie in the series. To which my reply is, do you remember the 5th book? There's a good 200 pages of nothing going on in there. Like, really. What people don't realize is that reading a book takes much longer than watching a movie. People are much more willing to sit down and read a book for 12 hours straight than they are to sit down and watch a movie for 12 hours straight. That's why there are no 12 hours movies. So, scenes like the ones about the Dumbledore's army training in the books are cut down to very short segments in the movies, because that's all you need of them in the movies, is to say, hey, this is the thing that's going on, let's keep going. And again, if it doesn't work in a film aspect, it needs to get cut or changed. If it wouldn't work with the audience that they're trying to present it to, it needs to get changed. A perfect example of a movie playing off of a book is Apocalypse Now. The book that Apocalypse Now was based off of was called The Heart of Darkness, and it followed a series of adventures in an African country, I believe, and they were just wandering through the jungle, fighting different things and talking about the meaning of insanity and everything. It was weird, but I liked it. It was weird, but I liked it. The thing is, The Heart of Darkness takes place in about the 1800s. When the creators of Apocalypse Now looked at it and said we needed to make a movie off of this, they realized that they can convey their message better if they've set it in the Vietnam War. A key message in A Heart of Darkness was the fact that the war that was going on was insane and stupid, and that was just a key message of everything. So the creators took that and said, look, if we took this book that's based in the 1800s and played it on the big screen in front of audiences today, they won't get the same message that we're looking for. And then the creators of Apocalypse Now turned around and said, look, we need to make sure that this audience gets the message that we're trying to convey. So we're going to use an example from modern times. And at the time, that modern example was the Vietnam War. It was insane. So people were protesting it and looking at it and thought it was ridiculous. So they did that! They used an example, changed the book, and made a much better finished product for the time that it was released. The bottom line is that when you are making a movie based off a book, you have to make sure you are trying to convey the message and not have just an absolutely 100% faithful representation of the events going on in the book. Like, if you just do that, it just won't work on the big screen. And then you have a bad movie on your hands, and nobody wants that. Alright guys, that's it for today, but before I go, I need to talk to you about a new series that I want to do. You see, I really enjoyed making that 50 Shades of Grey video, and I want to review more movies. I think that would be fun. It's a good way for me to combine my passion, which is movies, and then with my hobby, which is this. So I want to do that. I think it would be cool. Now, this would be a very rare series. I'm talking about like once every 3 months or so, because that 50 Shades of Grey video took probably 5 days to edit, like total. A grand total of probably 45 hours or so. It was ridiculous, and I just can't do that with my current schedule. I can't. So the bottom line is, I want to make more videos about reviewing movies. So, if you guys want to have a movie reviewed, leave it in the description, not the description, the comment section. I'm so tired. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. I love you so much. Stay floaty, my friends. Peace. Let Dave explain. We're getting to the point of no return. Can't save your game. There's no checkpoint in the way, and if you don't serve, you will held at gunpoint. Quick, like forfeited all your points, man. Withdraw from the California, the wall before the below my point fake. I don't feel guilt. There's no point crying over spilled milk with a little bit of luck and cover it up smoothly like I did with a silk quill. What's the point to this? For the sake of art, man, point to this. Don't take it hard. It's pointless.